Hi, this is Roger Newcomb with We Love Soaps TV, and I'm here with Christian Barber, the star of multiple web series and other projects.
There's some more coming out too. Yeah, I got a couple more web series.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Are you from New York City?
Yeah, I'm actually born out. I'm raised in the Bronx and been here most of my life. It's my home.
And did you always want to be an actor, or at what point did you?
I always had somewhere in my mind that I wanted to be an actor. My mother was a hard worker, so I spent a lot of time watching movies, watching TV, and that kind of became part of my development. Is the evolution of just television itself and watching films. I mean, I grew up, when I was a child, I remember watching Scarface almost weekly. And I remember stealing the movie. I remember stealing it from my, I think it was my cousin or somebody like that, and I used to watch it weekly. And it was one of those things where it was, you were transposing to someone else's world, and I always was fascinated by that. I kind of got out of it and decided to follow what everybody else sees as reality. And just one day woke up and realized that I needed to act. I needed to. It was the one thing that fed me, fed my soul.
That's great. I mean, I think my We Love Soaps partner, Damon, wrote a book called Absolutely Shoulds, and it talks about how the world puts shoulds on you, and you might have dreams and aspirations, but they tell you, but you should, go to college and do this, or have this type of career, and a lot of people follow that path, and they're never really happy with the choice they make.
Exactly. I mean, you get one shot on this earth, and there's no redos. You get one chance to do what satisfies you. You get one chance with your allotment, with your life, and I feel that why not? Why not do it the way that you want to do it? Nobody else lives it for you, so why should you have to follow somebody else's template?
Right. Now, I want to talk about a couple of the indie soaps that you are starring on now. We're really trying to promote those shows, and a lot of creative talents behind them. Like Us, the Like Us show, is a radio soap that's airing on quite a few stations around the country.
Yeah, it's you can check it out on HBCU, historically black colleges and universities. They have it on their on their radio stations, as well as LikeUsTheShow.com, and has weekly podcasts. That show is just, I love that show specifically because it was such a great feeling working on it with the cast. It was all young. It was a young minority cast, so it was great to see hardworking people, a mirror images kind of myself as far as hard workers that might not have the conventional way of breaking into the business, but all equally talented. I mean, I've worked with some of the most talented people on the last few web shows I've done. I mean, the talent is unbelievable.
Right. So on this show you play Robert.
Yes, I do.
And there's been over 50 episodes already. What can you tell us about this character? Robert's
willing to do anything and everything to get by. He sees the world, I got the chance to look at the world the way I wanted to see it, in any way, in every situation. I mean, Robert may not be loved by all, he might not be everybody's favorite character, but he definitely makes sure he gets what he wants. So that's always fun about it.
Right. I actually produced a radio soap for a while. How did you guys do this? Were you all in like a studio together?
Right. We actually recorded it at Play Studios, which is on 31st, right off of 8th Avenue. Pretty much recorded it like a recording session. They had a booth. We would go in there, about 4 or 5 people, or however many people were in the scene, got into the booth, we recorded. And it was great because the creator, Shirley Williams, she's genius. I mean, she's, I had decided to come up with a new term for her. She's a mogul in the making. And she has a business mind, and she allowed us, in order to create an environment, to have a recording session, but to not take away the acting from it. So it was a great mixture of the voiceover aspect, as well as allowing us to act, and not just voices.
Right. So you guys did it kind of all at one time. Are there any plans to do more?
What we're actually planning, I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on this necessarily, but I believe that they're working on, what's the word for it? To actually make it into a program, to a show.
Oh wow, like video.
Record video, yeah.
Wow. I saw some pictures and it was interesting because I hear the voices, and then there's I think a link called Campus or on the campus, and then I saw some pictures.
The Student Center.
Student Center.
Right.
So it did click in my mind, like this would be really cool, to actually see as well.
Right.
But the great thing about like a radio soap is you're not restricted by budget so much. You could go to Paris, you could be anywhere and everywhere, and you just need sound effects.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think capitalizing on the web series craze that's kind of really taken off right now would be a great thing as well. You also are going to appear on the second season of Empire, which debuts April 27th, playing Rodney. And we don't want to give too much away in terms of season 2 story, but can you tell us anything about your character?
Without giving away any story, the good thing about it is you guys got to hear me play Robert, and he might not be a saint. It's good. Rodney's a good guy. He's a good guy, good heart, so it's a good thing to play that. And Empire is just it's so strongly written. Greg Turner and Brian Houston, they did such an excellent job as far as shaping the characters from season 1, made that into a really strong story. And then they added in a lot of elements in the second season that I feel people are going to be really pleased with. And I think Rodney is going to be one of them.
Right. I was really impressed. I attended a read-through, the very first read-through. And I was really impressed that a lot of characters that were mentioned in season 1 appear in season 2. It showed they had a plan. They knew where they were going with it, and they had a plan. And a lot of times with daytime soaps these days, we don't necessarily feel the writers have a plan or know where they're going. So I thought, wow, they mentioned all these characters, and I didn't think it was going to happen. But suddenly they're all sitting at this table and reading through the.
That was actually great. Just after having a read through, and I had seen episode 1, and then once we started shooting in season 1. Once we started shooting season 2, I started to see how they had woven the perfect web of stories. And like you say, I feel like a lot of daytime soaps now get complacent, and they just bank on their previous viewing, and they don't really try to come up with any innovations or even really flesh out a solid story. And I feel like they did what's missing on those things, and they made sure that they took what they had taken from season 1, wrote season 2, and they made sure that it perfectly connected. And like you said, that they had mentioned these characters before, and a lot of times in soaps, they mention it, and then it's like, who's that person? And 3 seasons later, and you've never heard anything about them. They capitalized on that, and I feel like, those guys they're just excellent writers. Greg or Brian could call me about any project, and I'd be more than happy to do it.
But those aren't the only web series.
I actually have another web series, which is still in pre-production. It's kind of in maybe the Friends template or something like that. It's about 6 friends went to college together, and their trials through life, and understanding the game of life itself, and that as well, just the same as Empire, was written impeccably. And that was my first web series, and that actually was my kind of introduction into that. There's some great actors: James Shippey, Jermaine McClure, Tasha Perry, Valen Pilgrim, Patrice Bell. They're some of the most talented young people I've worked with in my life.
What do you think is the we talked off camera about people are starting to figure out a business model to make money, but creatively, what's one of the benefits of being on a web series?
As far as creatively for myself, I haven't had the same typical career path for most people, where I've been able to represent myself for a little while, and I am very glad to have that opportunity. It's able for me to shape myself as an artist, and to really concentrate on the creative side and not be confined to an agent telling me go here, go there. And I've been able to work on these web series. And part of the beauty of the web series is it's a collaboration, as opposed to you walking into a studio and this is the way it's been done and this is the way it's going to be done. It's collaboration. So a lot of us, I've been able to shape myself as an artist and have my peers around me working on these shows shape themselves as well as artists, which is, you don't really get to see that. I've worked in the business for a while, and I've been to sets and I've had great times, but I've never had the enriching and growing experiences like I've had on some of these web series. I really felt like it's helped me as an actor grow. And in watching how a lot of these creators, Shirley Williams, Greg, Brian, Rhodey May, Andre Wilson, a lot of these people that have been working on these web series, and watching them, who are solid business minds, attack the business side of it on what is really a growing industry that's still new. And then watching them, it's also made me have a better eye, business-wise, of how to handle myself in this business, as opposed to just chasing opportunity here, opportunity there. This is permanent. What we do is it's always recorded. So you have to really make sure that you have an investment in it and you care. When I got back into acting this time, I decided that I wanted to make sure that I made quality projects that I was proud of, and I've had the ability to do so mostly because of web series.
Right. I mean, I think it's really a writer's medium. Like, so much, definitely I hear about it a lot with daytime soaps, but I'm sure it's everywhere on TV. There's so much talks about focus groups. They'll get 12 people in a room and they'll say, we don't like this guy, or we like this, and then they'll rewrite the whole story. And the writer, a lot of times, doesn't really get to put out, I mean, their name is on it, but they don't really get to put out what their vision is. And that's what I love. Like, you can really weave a story here,
right.
Have diversity. Nobody at the network's telling you middle America doesn't want to see this Asian kid or this whatever. I mean, you really can tell a story with a diverse cast, and you can even have gay characters, believe it or
right.
not, and it's okay. And that's what I love about it.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's great because there's no, I'm sure years I'm probably going to regret this, there's no suit, there's no network head saying, well, I don't know how we feel about that theme, I don't know how we feel about that, or I don't know if we want to have do we want to go Spanish, do we want to go black? It's able to have, like you say, a writer's medium. You create a story, it's taking acting back, it's taking acting, production, directing back to the art form of it and making a good product, as opposed to making something that you can readily sell to people. You can,
I mean, there's definitely still a lot of racism in this country, a lot of homophobia in this country, but I feel like the tide's turning generationally, and younger people are more and more not like that, but they're not the ones running the networks or doing that, and I think it's slowly changing over time. Just as I'm getting older, I'm having less and less patience because I want to see some of these changes before I'm too old.
Right.
But I think it's great. And a lot of this is like younger people who don't really have a chance to have their voice heard, are just saying, I'm going to write and produce it myself, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. It's taking someone like myself, instead of following the carbon copy and saying, okay, we want you to play a perp on Law and Order. I've been able to stretch myself creatively and work on my craft in projects that I can say that I can always be proud of, having worked on them. And I mean, you guys will see Empire Season 2 comes out. Yeah, you'll see. And like us, it's great because when I was approached with an opportunity, it was a radio soap opera. I'll be honest, I was thinking to myself, what is that? What does that even mean? And read through the script, and it was excellently written. And it was a beautiful idea of Shirley to decide to do it that way, as opposed to being, once again, at the mercy of whoever's providing funding and changing stories. She was able to tackle certain issues. There's been touching on certain issues that affect our society right now, have been touched in that show, and I think that's great. And also, we've been able to partner up with the HBCU, historically black colleges, universities, and a lot of us are mentoring kids. I mean, we're in a position right now as adults to be working in something that we love, and we want to make sure that the next generation is able to do that just as well. And it's great for me. I'm nobody, and for me to be able to help somebody, it's good. I never thought I would be doing that, but get to mentor kids, and a lot of
well,
people.
I don't know if you're nobody. We only put the cream of the crop on We Love Soaps TV. So
that's right. And you heard it from the guy. I didn't say it.
You've made it out here on this program.
Absolutely. But
do you have any interest in, or do you like write, or do you have any interest in doing the behind the scenes stuff?
I've dabbled in writing. I truly, acting is just, it's what has always made sense to me. It's what has always made sense to me. It's what fulfills me, and it gives me a feeling of creation that nothing else can. There is nothing better to receive a script, be able to sit down, dissect the script, have especially a well-written project. As an actor like that, I get excited. I go home and I read that script for the first time, I get excited about a project. I'm like a little kid, and I run around the house and I can't wait to start working on it. And I felt that way with these projects. And I don't know that I could duplicate that as a writer, and I wouldn't want to. I would love this side of it. I'm comfortable in this side of the camera. I don't know about the other side.
Had you done voiceover before?
I had done briefly in the past voiceovers, yeah.
Like how is that different from you? Like if you're
It's different. It's different. It's just a different sensory.
If we have the camera on you, you're making the same facial expressions? Are you?
To a certain extent. Now you have to tone it back as far as the physicality to a certain extent, just because the voice is so important, and intonation, and to use a word that Shirley taught me, coloring your words is very important, because you don't have the visual aid to it.
Right.
So you have to make sure that people can really get what you're trying to get across. So that was different, but it was a learning process, and in a way, I've been able to. I worked on a film this past winter, Happy New Year, which actually is starring Tina Sloan as well. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, it's Happy New Year, starring Michael Cuomo, Monique Kernan, directed by Kay Laurel Manning. It's a great film. It's about Iraqi war veterans. And I was able to, in certain things in there, apply the same aspect of it, and while maintaining the physicality, make sure I can concentrate on the voice as well. So it's a lot of these, every one of these shows has helped me, has taught me as an actor. So I feel like every project in the next project I've taken on, I've been prepared more so than I would have been without these opportunities.
So, where do you want to go in the future? Like you've done a lot of different types of things. Like,
right.
Is there something you haven't done that you want to do, or do you want to just keep kind of staying on this path?
Truthfully, I'm an avid martial artist, and I really haven't had the chance to do anything physical. So I'm really waiting and trying to open that door for myself. I feel like I could definitely make some damage in that area. So I would like to go towards that. I'm a huge action movie fan, and like I said, I love martial arts, and I would like to get into that more.
Well, maybe on Empire you can work it in, and Rodney can kick a few asses down the line.
Right.
There are a few that need it, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple out there. I don't know. Just really that. I don't have a specific path I want to take my career in. I love acting. I respect the craft more than any craft I can think of in this world, and it's like the greatest profession that you can have. And as long as I can continue to do this and live my life, I'm more than happy. Some people need money. Some people need adulation. I just give me a script and let me go.
It's great. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time.